Hello friends, we are happy to see you on our embroidery channel dedicated to haute couture embroidery and different handmade embroidery. And today we will talk about the embroidery samples made by Dior. It's a modern dress made in 2016 for the Chinese famous actress Liu Fei, and this dress was presented by her in Cannes on red carpet, where she walked through the carpet and she really did a really magnificent effect. As you can see, this dress has embroidery that was made by application. It was not embroidered right on a dress, but it was embroidered separately on a fabric, and after that it was sewn on a ready-made dress that already fitted by actress, and everything was clear and okay. Now, so we will try also to make these applications, and we will need frame for embroidery or hoops for embroidery, and we will do embroidery by needle, so you have no need to worry about the needle hook. You need to prepare only the needle. We will use different materials like the cotton fabric for the surface, silk organza for the flowers, different sequins, beads, metallic thread, thick metallic thread and thin metallic thread, and also we'll need the twisted cord that we will use to show the beauty of the flower. So as you can see, even though this embroidery is rather small, we still need lots of materials, and even though you will work only with the needle, you will find yourself working with different types of materials, so it I'm sure will be a very interesting journey for us. So let's go and start doing embroidery. This is the pattern that we will use for the embroidery. You can copy it to yourself if you know how to copy such things, or you can purchase the same pattern printed on the fabric in our shop. Link to the shop you will find under this video. So let's talk about the embroidery that we will do now, and about the dress that has this embroidery and that we have seen with this embroidery. As I told before, this dress was made for a Chinese actress, and she was presented on the film festival, if I'm not mistaken, it was 69th film festival in Cannes. And of course, not only she was wearing Dior dresses, lots of other actresses were wearing Dior dresses, but we decided to pay our attention exactly on this dress because it has an embroidery. And as you know, based on the name of our channel, we are much more interested in embroidery itself than in sewing or in some haute couture dresses. So embroidery is the main thing for us. So let's talk about the way how this dress was created. The interesting thing that this dress was made by distance sewing, so it means that the actress actually have seen it and have actually tried it in a final version only when she has arrived to the Cannes festival. Before that, fashion house took her measures and did some mocking for her, and this mocking was traveling through the whole earth from France to China, or to the place where actress is currently doing shooting, where she tried that mocking. And after that, with slight changes or maybe with some additional information what needs to be done or redone, or what needs to be kept in this dress returned back to Dior fashion house in France. And this mocking traveling was done 3 or 4 times. The same thing was with the embroidery, because as I told, it was done separately. And to my mind, it's a carnation flowers. I'm not sure exactly what this flowers is in reality, because I didn't manage to find a lot of information about this dress, and exactly I didn't manage to find what exactly the flowers were there. But to my mind, it's carnation and they look like carnation. So we decided that it is carnation flowers and let it be like this. So when this embroidery and dress was finished, as I told, the actress seen it and tried only when she came to Cannes, and so it was her first real trying on this dress. And in reality, as I have found, lots of fashion designers, they work with actresses in this way. They do sewing in a distant way, and the actress see her dress only when it's finally done, and only when she has to wear it and go outside for some walking or in the carpet or maybe some presentation. If we would talk about the flowers in the life of the Dior himself and in the life of his fashion house, you might notice that the flowers played a big, maybe the grand role in the life of the house and in the inspiration and in the ideas and even in fashion collections, because Dior himself, he was very fond of flowers, and he was telling that the flowers is the second thing that he finds very much interested in and very much inspiring for him after the woman herself. And he considered and he thought flower to be same beautiful as woman is. And this things actually comes from his childhood. When he was a child, his family purchased a villa in south of France, in Granville, and there was a very beautiful garden in this villa where his mother used to spend lots of time, and she used to plant lots of plants and flowers. And Christian Dior, he was also very fond of it, and he was helping his mother to manage this garden, to plant different plants and flowers, and he was very fond of it. And in 15 years, when he was 15 years, he was considered to be a very good gardener. Imagine that a kid is only 15 years, but he already knows a lot about species of flowers and types of plants and how to grow them and how to make them bring beautiful, give beautiful flowers. And when he grew up, and at that time, of course, there was no garden left in that Granville because this villa was sold during his adulthood. He was, in his mind and in his dreams, he was returning back to that garden with the flowers, and he was trying to find inspiration there. So actually, this garden lived inside him and was following him during his whole life. Not the long life, but still he was, during the whole time and the whole life of him being as a designer, he was fond of memories of this garden, and he was trying to evoke this garden sense and this garden beauty. Christian Dior was looking on a woman as if she is a flower herself. And if we would actually pay attention on his collection, especially his new look, famous new look collection, you would notice that actually it is not a woman to whom he is saying hooray. It's actually a flower, because all the dresses is looking like the flowers, and the woman inside is like the petal of this flower inside. And also Dior always used to name his dresses and his collections in the name of flowers. We can remember his famous red poppy dress, or the tulip dress, or the rose dress, and he liked also the roses, the newly born roses with the closed bulbs inside. And his favorite flower and the symbol of his fashion house is a lily of the valley, or the May lily. And he was very fond of this flower because he was considered it fresh, young, and very beautiful flower. And in his dresses during his lifetime, actually, in the lining there used to be the embroidery of this lily, May lily flower, and people usually think that it's the symbol of the fashion house. And Dior also created the flower, the dress dedicated to this lily flower, May lily flower. It has a name, the lily of the valley, and it was made by white organdy, silk organdy, and the ruffles of a skirt were decorated with the heads of this lily of the valley, and they really look like this dress is full of these flowers, and it's like the meadow with these flowers. So it was really very, very beautiful. And if you used to visit any exhibitions dedicated to the Dior, you might see this dress, and you probably seen this dress because it's very famous, and it presents. In 1931, the family of Dior gone bankrupt, and they had to sell this house, this villa in Granville with the flower garden, and they sold it. And in the whole lifetime of Dior, when he was renting flats and he lived in rented flats, he was trying to rent flats a big flat where he can make the flower garden inside the flat, or when he was possible to rent houses or already had the possibility to buy that houses, he was trying always to purchase house with a garden, and he was always trying to rework and remake this flower garden that he had in his childhood. And even in his fashion shows, when he started to show models with his dresses, he was decorating the shows with the real flowers, and people who came to see the dresses in the show and to see the Dior ideas, they also came to see the flowers that were decorated, that were used as decoration in the show, and to listen to the smell of the flowers, because there were always tons of flowers. And even now, when Dior fashion house is now a part of a huge big, let's say, corporation, right? It's not the house of an exact fashion designer as it were in the time of Dior. Even now, the owners try to follow these flower ideas, and they try to at least to make it as if it were in the times of Dior. Of course, not always works in this way, but still they try to keep this idea and this flower scent in his collections and in his ideas. After the death of the Christian Dior, lots of designers who took his place as a fashion designer or as a head of the Dior house, they tried to follow this flower idea, and they also tried to use lots of flowers in the fashion shows. And maybe it's a way of showing respect to the founder of the house, or maybe it's just the idea that since flowers works very good for women and women love flowers, so then flowers should be used as much as possible. I'm not sure whether it's designers themselves decided this flower decoration they showed, or maybe it was the directors or general managers who ruled the house. But still, in Dior, this flower idea still works, and we can, if we will see the fashion shows of the modern designers, or the designers that were in Dior fashion house not long ago, John Galliano, for example, or Raf Simons, we can find a lot of flower ideas and a lot of flower decorations that somehow tells to us that this is the, how to say, like the memory point of the Dior, and this is dedicated to the Christian Dior himself, and to show the respect and something like this. So it comes to my mind, I think, like this. And I think this flower idea that Dior had, that he loved flowers and he was very fond of flowers, and he was considering woman to be the flower herself, right? So woman and the flower is the same thing. This is this unique idea, the unique point of view of the fashion house that lots of designers actually looking for. Because I think, you know, if you're interested in fashion design, or maybe you're a designer yourself, you, I think, heard a lot of times when people whom you ask how to, for example, to show yourself, or how to show your ideas to the crowd and to make people buy your ideas, you'll usually hear the idea that you have to become a person who is unique, and you have to find your unique ideas and your unique style. And to my mind, this flower idea and this flower inspiration is actually Dior's unique idea that divides him from the other, distances him from the other fashion houses. I cannot say that the other fashion houses did not use this flower inspiration. If we will think about the Chanel, we will also think about the flowers, the camellia flowers. But still, I think first thing that if you talking about the Dior, the first thing comes to your head is actually flowers, because he, even though he was being a man, he was very closely connected to this flower idea and to this flower world. And as I told, he even was fond of flowers, and all the dresses he was making, he was inspired by the flowers. And in reality, if you now will see his collections, his collection when he was alive, you would think on the dresses, and you would see the dresses in a different way. You would really find that flower inspiration, and you would really see that this dress reminds you the rose. This dress reminds you the red poppy, for example. This dress really reminds you the pigeon flower, and so on and so on. So like now we are doing these coronation flowers, they really the coronation flowers. And I think if you have seen this dress in the red carpet, I think you would, first thing you have thought that this is the Dior dress, because to my mind, flowers decoration, heavy flower decoration, even now still kept in the Dior dresses collection. At least I see them there. Maybe I'm mistaken, I'm not sure, but still, to my mind, lots of flowers comes with Dior, and it's something that is stated and something that is that you always can find in his collection. But now let's return to the flower that we are making. And as I have told, we are making the embroidery sample, and you have noticed that we are doing embroidery right on the white cotton fabric, because we had no idea to make it as an application. We actually wanted to make a look as if this embroidery already seated in a dress, on a dress, and soon it will be put on an actress, and she will go and will show this beauty of this embroidery, you know, in the red carpet. But actually you can make it as a sample if you have an embroidery atelier, or you can make a group from this flower and use it also for decoration for yourself. I think it also will be very, very beautiful, because this flower is really odd and should be shown on the public, because it is very beautiful. Okay, we are done with our flower. I hope you really liked the embroidery. Especially I want to point that we done this embroidery with not so many materials as it's usually used in the embroidery world. We actually use 3-4 types of material, and only with these 3-4 types we managed to make such beautifully embroidered and beautifully done embroidery. And for those who find it interesting to make and find it too difficult to understand in this short video, I invite you to our Etsy shop. Link is under this video, where you can purchase the material box with all the needed materials, and there will be also the online tutorial in our secret YouTube channel, where you will be able to follow our words and to follow our help and make same beautifully embroidered carnation flower. And the video is done, tutorial is done in normal speed, so do not worry, you will have no need to rush anywhere. So friends, I hope you like this video. I ask you to subscribe to our channel, to put the like to our video, and ask any questions if you have, or if you have any ideas, you also can write them under this video. We will be happy to read, and we will be happy to answer. So I hope to see you soon in our next video. See you, bye bye.